Hi, I'm Donna, the Nashville Nonna, and I'm here to introduce you to a very good friend of mine, Monique Elam-Smith from Farmers Insurance and Financial Services. I want to make sure I got that right, in Nashville. Mm-hmm. And she has a book out called What's Up with Your Money? And we're really excited about this because it really follows along the same heart and trend that our first-time buyers webinar on the last Saturdays of the month is about. So I thought you'd really like to meet Miss Monique. Hi, Miss Monique. It's so nice to have you.
Hi, Donna. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, it's a blessing. So tell me a little bit about yourself. I was reading your bio. I see that you have a degree from Middle Tennessee State University.
Absolutely. I'm True Blue.
True Blue. And that was in financial services, right?
It is a BBA in finance, where I specialize in business finance.
Okay, and you did that for a little while, but now you moved into your insurance business, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, and what was the inspiration for that, to move from business finance into farmers insurance and financial services?
Listen, my heart for people. When you're on the business finance side of it, you are the bad guy. You're the one that's trying to, make the money work on the business side. So a lot of times that means, making sure that people that may or may not have it are being infringed upon, I'll say.
Gotcha.
So just in my process of working that side of it and still being connected to people, I realized, I could better serve God's kingdom, actually. I could better serve if I were helping individuals to use the same principles that businesses use that individuals may not know about.
That's actually a really good in. And do you find that I find working with people who need a little bit of financial education or who would like to achieve something that they quite don't know how to do yet is very fulfilling. So I would assume that that's also quite rewarding.
It is. It is like watching a baby grow when you take someone who isn't knowledgeable about this and then they need to learn to crawl, then walk, then run. Helping them with those steps, especially financially, because it is so empowering, is extremely rewarding for me.
So I'm very curious at where you came up with the idea for your book, What's Up with Money? Because it looks like it's an amazing tool for people in very simplistic ways to understand how to become a little bit more in control of their finances.
Exactly. So I'm a mother of 3, and my oldest at the time was just entering young adulthood. Mm-hmm. So while she grew up in the home with me, like literally she was with me when I was graduating college and with me as I started my first business helping people with their finances, she didn't fully understand, and I could see the disconnect with what we teach and what we live. I could see it in real time with a young person. Mm-hmm. So I literally wrote this book speaking to her, but from a third person, because nobody wants to do what their mom says, right?
Yeah, it's a very smart way to go. Yes.
So let me create something that speaks to multiple people that I know will change someone's life. So that was the heart behind writing this book and in the way that I did. So this is written towards a young person that is either about to enter adulthood or has already just entered before they start making those mistakes, like getting a bunch of credit cards on campus because they get to get a free t-shirt or umbrella.
Oh, gotcha. Well, you see, that's a class all in itself. Don't let them sell you any kind of credit for such a small thing.
Exactly.
But in general, and I would think so also helping them get past the student loans, because it is better. I see it so much. People can't afford housing or can't afford to buy a house because their student loan debt is so high, and they don't understand what a DTI is, and and why you don't want to get yourself in that position versus what you're going to make. And I think that's a very important topic for them.
Absolutely. And as I was going through school, I was a bill collector. Mm-hmm. And that is one of the things that I used to have to, I like to educate. So I would educate my customers on understanding those things right there, where while you may make a lot of money, if you're spending it all and it's all wrapped up in debt, you're still even and you still don't look good on paper when it comes to getting ready to buy a house or something.
So Miss Monique, I am very, very interested in understanding all of this information about money. So tell me, do I go and I make my money work? Is that what I have to do to make my money work? Or does it take over and go and do all its things all on its own? Or is there something that I need to possibly do?
Well, that perfect lead into my answer. It's two-sided of that.
Okay.
So you make your money work, meaning you do the things, you select the career that fits with how you're wired. For instance, if you're a morning person, you don't decide to go and be an overnight chef. Why would you do that? Like, it's not gonna work with how you are naturally wired. So in the book, what career you choose. And then once you get in the career, what do you do with the money that you're making? So you are making your money work, meaning now you're gonna go and you're gonna invest. You're gonna save some. These are two different things. Invest some, save some, spend. Because you need to spend. You need to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Right.
So this isn't just about, being so constricted in your money. You make your money work. And then the other side of that is once you have all of these pieces going and you've been investing in your 401k or in your Roth IRA or even into your property and into your business, the money starts to work.
Right.
So again, the money is doing the work for you that is bringing in money that pays you to live, hopefully, a very comfortable life.
And it does make sense, especially for those of us who have not had a lot of financial education or training, because we are looking at, I want to make X amount of dollars per hour so I have money to spend. And it's just this idea of spending. But money, I think you need to find freedom in money is you could have all the money in the world and spend it all, but you still don't have anything at the end.
Exactly.
So how can I use my money, which is what I hear you saying, to work for me after I earn it? I'll spend some, but let me put some in this bucket so that I have longevity.
Exactly.
I can manage the ups and downs of the world that I live in.
Yes, you make that money work. Money cycles. It's in the book as well. It cycles through multiple times in multiple ways. So our goal as earners and consumers is how to control how much that money cycles in my home, in my business, in my community, and then how the cycle will spin back around. And now I want to, for instance, when we're, in our 60s, 70s, our houses should be paid off. We are not earning income. Now we need that income to support us that we've already been earning and putting in. Yeah. It's all cyclical, and we get to control how those cycles affect us.
Yeah, and I would assume that which you already kind of said for a second ago, it works with business too. Your business starts to make money and flow. How do you then use some of that money to expand your business, to invest back into yourself, so that it's continually becoming an asset that can not only scale, but that maybe one day you might want to sell, or you can become some kind of financial gain from it.
Yes, leave to your family, and like I said, the jobs that it creates.
Right.
You are investing when you're hiring new people.
Right.
They are investing when they are going to school or not going to school and just learning the skill. There are lots of ways that we can make money work and then allow the money to work. So yes, still two-sided. But yes, you do the work for the money, and then the money should work for you.
Yeah, and too, you spoke a little bit before about boundaries, and money and boundaries are really budgeting. I look at budgeting as a boundary.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. It's a boundary for your money.
And it is probably the most fundamental part of having control of your money is understanding how to budget it and sticking to a budget. It's because over time that's a skill that you're going to be able to stand on, right?
Yes.
But many people, they don't want to budget. Budgeting is very frustrating for them.
So for those people, I say, okay, then you need to make more money. If you are out spending what you're earning, you now need to earn more. So 24 hours in a day, you sleep for 6 to 8 of them. The rest of that needs to be bringing in money in these money earning years so that you can afford to save for that rainy day, to save for when your body just physically doesn't want to work 12 hours a day.
Yeah. And the budgeting is a big part of it, really is a cornerstone of buying a house, because if you need that budgeting to get to a place where you're, we'll call it mortgageable, where you can buy a house, but then that budgeting is also going to keep you in your house. So that fundamental skill, very important, yes. I think.
It will serve you throughout your life.
It will. It's amazing. And then you can go on and you can budget your energy, and you can budget your, guard your heart, your time. Mm-hmm. Everything can be budgeted.
Now you're a budgeting wizard.
Yay, perfect. Now, have you done, other than this book, what else have you produced? Have you done a webinar? Have you done any other kinds of, how do you like to help people overcome their financial fears?
So HBU, Home Buying University, was one of my webinars that I was most passionate about. I even created a video, some skits and everything for it so that it is more relatable versus, just let me teach you in a webinar for 2 hours and then you go on with your life.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I am passionate about people owning their homes and then using those homes for, again, more financial stability, which will open doors for other things like business ownership, like retirement, things like that. It's a process that I try to teach people through. If I can take 100 people that can invest $100 a month, or do I want to take one person that can invest 1,000 or 10,000? Right. I can serve more people to understand, no, these small amounts add up because of the beauty of compound interest. So same thing with insurance. I love to take a renter to a homeowner. Yeah. When I get on the phone with them, they will walk away with some understanding of, I don't have to do this forever. And I train my staff that way as well.
Yeah. So, and now I also read, let me see, one second, that you had an article in a Christian magazine, Favored.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you still write that article?
I do not. The magazine doesn't exist anymore, but my time doing it was very rewarding. And here is why I say that. So, when you're a writer, you don't know who's reading your stuff unless they buy a book. Well, a financial column in a Christian magazine is different. I don't sell the magazine, so I didn't know that people were really benefiting. And we had this award. Well, the owner of the magazine had this award ceremony for the writers. And when I walked in, they all started applauding. And I'm thinking, I was nervous. So I'm like, why? What are we doing here? And so many people after came up and told me that they really enjoyed reading my financial column. And I was like, I would have never known if they hadn't said.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, writing that column was my first spark, because that was 14 years ago. Writing that column was my first spark for, hey, Monique, use your pen. Yeah. To show people as well.
I think it's an excellent idea for a blog or for a newsletter or an add-on. Like if you start a group of first-time buyers or financial people who are looking for financial assistance, it's just a lovely tag on for that. I don't know if you have it published anywhere, but you might think about putting it up on a website or something. I would have read it. I'm like, oh, where can I get that? I'd love to see what she did.
So it's so true story. I have copies of the magazine, and there's one that's my favorite, and it's talking about the cycles of money. So mind you, again, this is 14 or 15 years ago. And sure enough, because money cycles. Yes. Sure enough, this money has cycled multiple times, tit for tat with that article. So I think I will publish that. Thank you, Donna.
I think it's a really great subject, and based on a Christian mentality of favor and how we come into. I'm just projecting because I didn't read it yet, but I would assume it has a lot to do about putting out there what you're putting out there and knowing that God will provide, and how if you put the dream out there and you do the work, God steps in and does the other half. Or that's the way I kind of look at it.
God is the source. Everything else is a resource.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. That's a very nice tagline. Ooh, we're going to use that. Very cool.
I hope you do. God gave it to me.
Yeah. So where do you see, with your insurance agency, is there anything specific that you like to work with people on when they come across your table?
So glad you asked. Small business owners.
Okay.
Oh, it is so much power in owning a business, whatever it is that you are doing. Be in control of that baby, like what you create from that and what you get. When I say get, I mean what you give to the world. What you get back from that is so not just spiritually rewarding and mentally rewarding, physically rewarding, but financially rewarding. So these are seeds. When you look at your small business, think of these are seeds that you're sowing out there that will bring forth the harvest. So I love to work with small business owners. I literally, the job fair that I was at, I'm specifically recruiting for commercial producers to go out and connect with these small business owners. I have once a quarter where small business owners can come into my agency and we teach them just 30 minutes and then, 30 minutes to network and everything. How this works, how to set their business up for success, what insurances they need and what insurances they're required for. The state isn't concerned so much about how your business runs safely, efficiently, effectively. They're concerned about the taxes that you're going to pay on it. So what my goal is when I speak to small business owners is to show them how all of this works together. And even though something isn't required of you, you want to be a good corporate citizen to your employees and to your community. So I'm very passionate about small business
I can
owners.
see, and it's a beautiful passion. And do you help those who are you in a position at times for people who want to start a business, haven't started it yet, and come to you with an idea, and you maybe kind of help them formulate how that could be, scalable, or make some kind of you're giving and making some income on it? Or
I have in the past. As I was, I don't know if you remember or not, but I'm 50 now, and I'm trying to stay in my niche, like what God put me on this earth to do. So yes, sometimes people come to me with that, and I have knowledge of it because, of course, I've started businesses and I've helped people, with directions. But as far as paying me to do it, no, that was in make money work time.
Gotcha.
No, I am just more passionate on, now that you've got your business, let me show you how to maximize it.
Gotcha. So one of the things that we do, which I loved because I was reading your bio in our sit downs, is we talk about the pearl of wisdom you would like to leave. So what would be a pearl of wisdom that you would leave to someone who's just getting started and wants to be on their financial journey? They're younger, maybe they're in their 20s, early 30s, and they're starting to think, I'm going to be around here for another 60 years. What can I do? What would be a pearl of wisdom that you would like to share with them today?
I would like for them to know, lead with grace, not just for everybody else, for yourself too, meaning allow room for error, but grow in the error. So what that looks like money-wise, create your budget. A budget is just a boundary for your money.
Right.
And give yourself grace in that because things come up. Yes. But as things come up, make sure you have your umbrella handy.
That's a good one.
So that would be my pearl of wisdom, just grace.
Great. Give yourself some grace.
Grace and boundaries.
Yeah. Very good. So I really appreciate you being here today. I appreciate you sharing all of your wisdom. I appreciate meeting you. And I would just like everybody to go and take a look at this book if you're interested in making money work. Yes. And you can find it at Making Money Work on Facebook. Is that correct?
Yes, Make Money Work, a King's Kids division on Facebook, or you can reach out to me on my Elam-Smith Farmers page on Instagram and Facebook.
Thank you, Miss Monique. It was a pleasure to meet you. You're a blessing.
My
Really
pleasure.
are.
Thank
Thank you.